Hey. What's up, guys? What Bear Man? Bagsy. We're gonna be impregnating a lot of people. Man, these markets are just fucking crazy. Like, I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief. This is fucking insane. You know, what the fuck is going on here? Bitcoin, moon, Ethereum, moon. And you know what? It's about to be a little alt season here. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I'm speculating maybe about a month. A month of just insane fuckery. You know, we're gonna have people tax harvesting at the end of the year, potentially. You know, maybe it goes into 2021 because, you know, people don't want to take their profits off. They don't want to pay taxes yet. Who fucking knows? But this is some crazy shit. There's definitely some disbelief in the air. Wow, 263 people in here live. Much appreciated, guys. How's the music? Is the music good? I don't really know if I'm feeling this track, though, to be honest. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna source another track. I'm gonna source another track. I thought I was feeling this, but I'm not. So, you know, we want to make sure we have something good on. Let's see here. I'm looking for the mix. Let's see. Maybe this. Anyway, thank you for being here, guys. We are going to take a look at some shitcoins today. Oh, there's no music? Really? There's definitely music. There's music now, right? Music went off for a second. I just want to make sure the music's on and it's at a good level. There's definitely music. Yeah, well, we don't need to like really hear it. I'll turn it up just slightly. Okay. Let's get to business here. There's a lot of good setups. At first I'm gonna go over the bags that I'm in because I know a lot of you guys have those. We're gonna take a look at these charts. Recovering nicely from that pickle fuckboy shit with that Dia play that I put on a day or two ago. Just really nice momentum play. I decided to enter DeFi dollar, or I'd already entered it. I just didn't say anything about it, but I entered it. I was able to acquire like maybe 1.5% ish of the circulating supply. For like $20,000, which is not bad at all. So I'm cool with that. You know, like I don't feel like I can go wrong with that. It's on. So yeah, we're gonna start by going over all the bags that I'm in. I'm not really gonna focus on the fundamentals or anything because we've already gone over that ad nauseum. But we are gonna look at some charts and shit here. Here's Pickle with a retest. You know, if you guys were in Pickle and you didn't manage to get out earlier, you know, that was your chance to get out right there. You know, I don't see this as something that's like really coming back or anything like that. It's kind of for a case study on that. You can go look at harvest.finance. Typically after an exploit like that, you know, trust in the project is lost and people turn their attention elsewhere. It's really unfortunate because Pickle was one of the better farming projects. It was one of the more legit farming projects. But, you know, it is what it is. And that's why we don't overexpose. You know, I had a large Pickle position, but I wasn't overexposed to it. It was just large exposure. So you got to just, you know, kind of lick your wounds and move on and go searching for other opportunities. I mean, to capture these opportunities, we have to expose ourselves to certain risks. And that's why the returns are so good, because the risks are quite high. But yeah, you know, let's let's get into it. First, we're gonna have a look at MTA. MTA looks fucking awesome here. And you can see this is one of my favorite patterns. This is that fake head and shoulders. We've talked about this before on stream. Fake head and shoulders into an absolute fuck you face melt because it terrifies people. Everybody knows about the head and shoulders pattern. Everybody sees the head and shoulders pattern and they're like, oh fuck, you know, like this is what we're doing, right? Like we're going down. But this is looking quite nice, and just to give you a better view of what's actually going on here and how good this does look, we can take a look at this daily. I'd really like to see this daily close like this. This big wick to the downside. We've pretty much recovered all losses on this daily, and then we can see some upward momentum. Let's go ahead and have a look at the weekly as well. So the weekly isn't quite as nice as the daily, but you know, I do expect the daily to kind of drive this upward momentum, you know, especially if we take a look at this. Looks like D is doing fantastic. Hopefully it ramps into my sells up here in just a second. If it does, you know, we'll be making some purchases on stream. I don't know if that's going to be MTA or Rook or whatever. Oh, really quick, I did want to show you guys this because I thought it was pretty cool. I did some work on Rook. And I don't know if you can see this, but I wanted to take a look at, oh yeah, we do have to look at, I'm getting notices we're not showing the screen. Hey, here we are. Thank you guys for letting me know, and sorry about that. So I don't really know if you can see this or not, but I did some metrics on Rook, and we're looking at a PE ratio, that's profit earnings. A rolling PE is what I've done for a 3-day window of about 2 here. Which is quite good. Rook might be a great value buy here. That is to be determined. I'm going to be updating these metrics that I've done as we move forward, and you know, we can just kind of see you know, what's going on with that as we move forward. But you know, once again, Rook might be a fantastic buy just from a fundamental perspective. I wanted to do this kind of quantitative work on it just to have a point of reference and to monitor it and to see if it did have any meaning. Typically in the stock market, something with a PE ratio of 2 might be quite undervalued, especially for like a tech stock or something like that. You know, I'd typically want to look for it to be around maybe 5, 6, even 10 or higher. But here we are looking at that BTCD chart. You can see right here, alt season kind of started when dominance peaked out right here, and you can see we haven't gotten that cross from embedded to unembedded yet, but this is looking quite nice. You know, we had this little fake out on dominance. It's been rejected. Ethereum is absolutely fucking right now, and this is looking quite good if you're a believer in an alt season. You know, we could expect a retest of 58 dominance. I'm even looking for around 53 maybe is when dominance is going to bottom out again. Everything is just looking fantastic here. Ethereum, absolute face rip right now, as you can see. Let's throw it on the weekly. We are coming into what might be the first level of resistance. I am expecting this to probably show signs of exhaustion somewhere in this region. But what a fucking week, guys. This has been absolutely incredible. And when Ethereum pulls back, you know, I think that that could be really a nice chance for altcoins to shine. You know, Ethereum was lagging Bitcoin. We talked about this for a while. We looked at these structures. It looks fucking great. It's super bullish. I definitely think that we're going to see Ethereum up here in the $800 range, if not more. I mean, look at this. There's just so much upside left to explore here. And we've seen with Bitcoin, you know, that Bitcoin has explored those all-time highs. I would imagine Ethereum probably does the same thing. And wouldn't it be even better if Ethereum did that while Bitcoin was chilling out for a second? I mean, altcoins are going to go absolutely batshit. You got to remember that we have Thanksgiving next week, big American holiday. Now, while COVID is happening and not as many people are meeting for Thanksgiving, I would imagine that we're still going to have a lot of communication and contact between families and Thanksgiving. You know, people are going to be talking about Bitcoin. People are going to be talking about Ethereum. People are going to be talking about altcoins. You know why? Because we've gotten rich and we've made money, and oh, what are you doing? How's it going with you? People are gonna say, oh, well, I'm a Bitcoin guy. Have you heard about that? I'm an Ethereum guy. Have you heard about that? It's just natural for people to want to talk about that and want to brag about it a little bit, especially when you're seeing family you haven't seen in a while. You want to tell them how good you're doing. So wow, I mean, that's just looking absolutely fantastic here. Now let's take a look at MTA, Ethereum. We'll get back into the shitcoins a little bit. And Ethereum MTA has broken down versus Ethereum, in this head and shoulders pattern. It's being outperformed by Ethereum, and for the foreseeable future, it may continue to be outperformed by Ethereum. Now that trend will change. I mean, we are knocking on heaven's door with this trend line. We've tried to break out and failed twice now, really just because Ethereum is ripping face so hard. Now where's support? This isn't the death of MTA. We are coming down on support for this Ethereum MTA ratio. And I would expect us to bounce from here and to come up and finally test this level up here, which would be a fantastic place to take some profits off. Maybe MTA will be $5 then because Ethereum's $800 or whatever. Who knows? All right, so coming into our second coin that I want to look at, that is Hxro Finance. Hxro is doing quite well here. We're holding the support level of where we needed to hold. So far, this resistance level has held, and I'll just expand this just like that. We'll do Wix here. Let me actually put it on Snap. Okay. So Hxro is doing well here. It's consolidating above this what used to be resistance level. You can see that we have dual wicks down in here into this kind of zone. Another attempt in this zone to dump. Hxro is looking really good. 4 cents strong support. If you can get any fills there, it's probably going to be to your benefit. Where does Hxro end? I can't really know. There's a lot of upside to be explored here as well. I do think that the first round of take profits for a lot of people are going to hit around this 10-cent range. It's just natural. Ping, the founder of Hxro, who's pretty much the Asian Andre, does have a lot of shit in the pipeline, and I do expect him to begin dropping those things shortly. So definitely keep an eye on Hxro. We're still looking good. I don't think it's topped out yet. We'll have to keep our eyes on it and see how this shapes up. For the weekly, we do have this big long-legged doji, which can represent indecision here. So it'll be really important that we see other altcoins continuing to rally to give this setup the confidence to continue moving to that next level and hit that target. Once again, a lot of these setups are extremely dependent on the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, what it's doing. If Ethereum continues to outperform Bitcoin, that's when you're going to see these altcoins potentially outperform Ethereum and really do their thing. So let's move on to let's just take a look at DIA. I'm in DIA. I don't know how many other people are in DIA. Here's the situation here, guys. And we've been in this horizontal accumulation range since the end of September. That's quite a bit of time. I do think DIA, as being an oracle and not necessarily something that's, straight up DeFi coin, might have some serious fucking legs here. I'm not really interested in that. I use DIA as a way to recover some of my losses from Pickle. I will be taking profits somewhere up here. I do expect us to wick into that. The daily chart is super bullish. If you did want to snag DIA as a long-termer, this setup looks quite good for DIA token. It's cleared all of these resistance levels and it's on the way up. Now DIA could really run, we're talking like maybe $30-40 million market cap, maybe a little more now. DIA is oracles. Oracles fuck. We've seen Link's one of the strongest coins out there. DIA is an oracle coin with a much lower market cap that's doing things a little bit differently than Link with oracles. I think they've got some government backing and other things like that. They're on Binance. So if we see some of these CEX coins really start to fuck some of these large caps, it's only natural that you would expect some of those profits to trickle down and flow down into some of the other good projects that are listed on centralized exchanges as well. DIA fits that bill. So keep your eye on DIA. I think, we could probably see $3, $4, $5 DIA here in the coming month. It's just kind of depends on how this plays out. Now, DIA versus Ethereum. Let's check out what's going on right here. One thing, while Ethereum is rallying, it's ideal if you can pick coins and you can pick setups that are actually outperforming Ethereum, because Ethereum's bullish, and if your coin isn't outperforming Ethereum, kind of the argument there is, well, why not just go ahead and hold Ethereum? That makes more sense. Ethereum, or DIA, has broken out versus Ethereum, which once again makes this setup particularly attractive. So keep your eyes on this. Maybe DIA for me is just a quick flip for a good 40%. But maybe DIA for you could be something else. If you're looking for something that's legit, definitely not a rug pull, with good backing, and also solid risk reward, DIA might be a nice entry for you. So let's also take a look at Ken here. This is Kijin's network, one of my favorite plays. And you can see right here that Ken is still struggling at this resistance level. We've got 1, 2, 3 pushes to the upside. So it is looking like there's Ken does have the possibility to go ahead and pull back here. If we go ahead and draw some kind of trend line to this, you can see that it has broken that trend. So the question really becomes then, what is the ideal entry for Ken if you are a Ken bull? And I believe that entry could be anywhere from $3.50 down to $3. You'll be pretty solid. So if you can go ahead and get some limit orders set, you can do that on Pine Finance or 1inch Exchange Legacy down there at the bottom. You can go ahead and scoop some Ken. I do think Ken's going to perform quite well still. Somewhere down in this region would be ideal. There is a good probability of this pulling back to some extent. How much? I'm not quite sure. You got to be careful with these setups though, because if the whole market turns and altcoins just start firing off left and right, people are going to start asking themselves, where do I park these profits? And this is an ideal candidate. Low cap, high tech, a lot of upside, VC backing, etc., and decently liquid as well. So now let's have a look at Hxro. This is one of the best looking charts out there, I believe. And we're going to go ahead and draw some trend lines here. If you aren't in Hxro, it might be a good opportunity to go ahead and snag some. And then we want to do this upper trend line as well. Okay. So you can see here that Hxro has managed to break out. It's retesting what is both a strong horizontal and diagonal level. I mean, this is just an accumulation cylinder right here. We're going to see Hxro break out and do some crazy fucking things. When you're talking about insurance plays, they're obviously going to fuck. Cover looking really nice as well. We're going to get to that. But Cover and Hxro are really the only two cover type insurance plays out there right now. It's good to be exposed to different kind of sections. Like, if you want to have like that stablecoin aggregator play, maybe get some MTA, some DeFi dollar, something, or some Curve or something like that. If you want to grab some insurance plays, which I definitely think, one or both of them are going to go fucking nuts. Hxro, Cover, both fantastic options. Now, Cover, on one hand, there's pros and cons to it. The pros, you've got mega whales in Cover, and those whales are underwater. So those guys aren't going to be selling right here. They're going to want to encourage this token to get to a point where they can at least break even or even make some profit. I'm talking big whales with like 2,500 Cover. Lei Feng of BTC12 is one of those whales, and also you have SBF, Sam from FTX. is another one of those whales, and it's not listed anywhere where you can short it. So, you know, maybe this isn't something that you can count on Sam dumping into the ground. LOL. But Hxro is like Cover. It's a low market cap, actually a little bit lower than Cover, I believe. Or if not around the same now. Really, really nice chart. I like the Hxro chart better than Cover. And Hxro doesn't have that baggage overhead. Now, when we're talking about whales, you know, Hxro is the VC version of Cover. Cover is like the fair launch coin. So you can kind of take your pick. You know, maybe you're more of a VC guy. I particularly really like VC-backed projects because, you know, I know that there's a certain degree of extra vetting that's gone into the code, the people behind it, et cetera, et cetera. And also you've got VC backers that are typically more long tail investors. You know, they're not guys that are interested in seeing this flip for a 5X or whatever. They're going to invest in a lot of different things. And, you know, one of those things is going to go to $1 billion market cap and they're going to make a lot of money. Hxro, Cover, I would be, personally, I'm exposed to both of them. It doesn't matter if one or both of them fuck. I'm ready for either scenario. Honestly, I think it's going to be a both scenario. The question is, you know, if you did have to just pick one, what are you more interested in? What's more your flavor? Are you more of like the fair launch guy? You know there's whales and VCs in Cover. Or are you more like the straight up VC guy? You know, you're going to grab some Hxro. And see what happens. I don't really have any opinion on that. I think both of them look great. From just a straight up chart perspective, I do think Hxro has the better chart right here, but you have to also remember the Cover has a working product out right now. Cover has a claim out for Pickle on that working product right now. So we have this unique situation where Cover is a first mover. They got moving before Hxro, and that's usually an advantage. And Cover also has this claim that they're going to process, and how they process and handle this claim is going to be either very bullish or very bearish for Cover. If everything goes smooth, people are going to see that immediate value in Cover, and I do expect a lot of FOMO. Now that claims process is going to be finished in the next maybe 5 days or so. So expect maybe in the next 5 days Cover to be particularly bullish as that gets news spotlight from that claim process. Let me just scroll down a little bit and we will... PyCharm shouldn't be on the screen. Is PyCharm on the screen? I see people were saying that a while ago. Okay, yeah, so anyway... We have been looking at this. Now, I will say, you know, when we're talking about vesting and everything like that, you know, people are concerned because there is while Cover has most of the supply on the market right now, a lot of people have questions about when or how much Hxro is going to be hitting the markets and when. By the end of 2021, I believe 20 million Hxro will be in circulation, which puts this at a fully diluted valuation realistically for this cycle, if you want to go ahead and take that into consideration, of around $20 million at the current market cap. So the inflation on Hxro isn't crazy at all. I'm not particularly concerned about that. All right, so let's move on to Cover. New token. If you guys haven't migrated your Cover or your Safe 2 over to Cover, you need to go ahead and do that. There's not much to be said, you know, when we're just talking about the chart here, because we're looking at a coin that's the third iteration. You know, so it's the histories aren't stitched together, and it's difficult to really get a grasp of the chart and what's going on. The most important thing for Cover for you to understand is what I've just talked about, the fundamentals behind Cover, as well as the market cap for Cover, and we'll come check that out. We are looking at a $13 million market cap, okay? Whereas Hxro, let's just compare apples to apples here. Whoop. Has a $4 million market cap. That's saying Hxro is 78 cents, so I don't think that's right, because we were just looking at Hxro, and Hxro is higher than that. Oh, it's 82 cents. Okay, so they're just a little bit behind. Really, really similar. Hxro is the lower market cap play. But like I said, I like them both. You know, they both have their advantages. Cover does have that first mover advantage, so just remember that. Hxro, I believe, is a little bit behind them. Okay. So let's move on now to APY. This is also another setup of mine. that's looking quite good here. And we've got that kind of horizontal resistance channel drawn. We're going to go ahead and draw some trend lines on this as well. Maybe just to get a better perspective of the when this is going to happen. APY is looking quite good. You know, it hasn't really gone up. It hasn't really gone down. Really? Okay, it's going to make my trend line disappear for whatever reason. Whatever. Now, this is a big VC-backed play. It's like a smart YFI. It's a risk-adjusted YFI where they have like risk profiles for farming opportunities. And they have farming things that you can deploy your money to. You know, you can select strategies based on risk, and it'll deploy your capital automatically for you based on your risk preferences and tolerances. APY, another really low cap coin. APY is doing something interesting. They have a quadratic distribution mechanism, which essentially just means that if you are vested, if you are getting tokens for any reason, let's say you're a mega whale, you're getting a much smaller portion of your tokens, just relative to your entire tokens that you're entitled to, every distribution, than a smaller fish. Now, this is a new distribution mechanism. I think it's actually quite good because really the concern is early on in these projects that these whales get massive amounts of tokens and they de-risk, you know, they sell their tokens. APY does have a low circulating supply relative to the total supply. The fully diluted valuation of 51 million. I do believe due to that quadratic distribution mechanism, it is going to take a little bit of time to hit that. We were looking at a $4 million market cap on APY, so I definitely think there's value here. If not just for a quick 2, 3, 4x out of this, you know, it's yield farming, especially, you know, smart yield farming and stuff like that. YFI Gen 2s may or may not be a big play here. Now, this does have big backers like Alameda and more, and it is not anywhere for Alameda to short it yet. So just keep that in mind. If it is listed on FTX and it spikes up to $2, you know what to do. It's probably a sell. But just definitely one to keep your eyes on. This is one not many are talking about. Low cap, big money, big names involved. I know Lei Feng, BTC12 is in this as well because I saw some pop up in his wallet from the distributions. All right, so let's move on to DeFi dollar. Now, this was mainly a fundamental play because the chart is the most aged chart you can possibly imagine. You can see here a nice impulse candle to the upside. Just a fair warning, you know, before you go crazy and want to enter this. I did buy most of mine in this region down here, and this chart is just total fucking AIDS. Now, one of the things about DeFi dollar is it's very similar to MTA, which is why I wanted to have exposure to DeFi dollar DAO. One of these coins is going to fuck. DeFi dollar, like MTA, has a DeFi dollar, and that DeFi dollar is backed by a basket of stable coins. Very, very, very similar to MTA. Now, also similar to MTA, this one is absolutely infested with VCs. You've got CMS Holdings in there, which I really respect. Big VC with big wallets, and also really, really good at picking good shit out. I'm not quite sure if it's time for this to reverse or not. I've mainly entered this on the fundamentals alone, and I will be averaging down on this if I can. If you look at DeFi dollar, the market cap of the circulating supply is just $1.6 million at these price levels. And I'm not quite sure, you know, what the deal with the circulating supply is. I need to run the inflation and everything like that, but we're looking at a fully diluted valuation of $34 million, which just isn't that high when we're talking about a protocol like this in a real bull market. These things can go to 250, 300, 400, 500 million dollars. So when I'm looking at the fully diluted valuation, even at FDV, that 10x scenario is still in play, and we're not even going to be there, not even close during this cycle. So I expect this could have some really nasty upside, good risk reward. If you're a gambler and you want to fuck around and just buy something because it's cheap, maybe DeFi dollar's right up your alley. I would not recommend a large percent allocation to DeFi dollar, just because when you look at the chart, it's fucking AIDS, you know, and it's very, very difficult to tell when something like this is going to be done dumping, when the chart has looked like this. Maybe we bought the intergalactic generational super bottom, but the chances of that are low. So if you are planning on entering this, just know that you're entering purely on fundamentals. And also just know that this is a good thing that maybe every now and then when you got a little extra profit and you decide, hey, I was going to compound into this, maybe take 10% of that and roll it into DeFi dollar, and take that other 90% and go ahead and compound and check out something else, whatever else you had your eyes on. DeFi dollar is hot though. I'm telling you guys, it's a hot product. Okay, so let's check out what's next on the list. And that's going to be NFY. That is non-fungible yearn. We're still just kind of range bound. We're not doing much interesting here. It did break this trend line down. Or it's looking like it's doing so, maybe right now. That's absolutely okay. For me, this is my like moonshot gamble play. I'm either going to get mega rich on NFY or probably lose my money. What I am doing on NFY is I'm providing liquidity with a certain amount of tokens. And when I mint new tokens, when I get that yield from staking, I immediately take that and I roll it over into staking. So I'm compounding, and then I'm also taking my staking gains and rolling it back into staking. Now, NFY is cool, and let's just go to NFY.finance. Blah, 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 Cloudflare. Just to kind of demonstrate this, you can see the LP over here. It does have locked LP like core, so this liquidity is guaranteed. It's stuck there and the liquidity is growing. Now, there is a reward pool, and every day this reward pool gets smaller, okay? Now, staking this, I get 0.3% of the reward pool daily from my LP relative to my proportion of the LP, and 0.1% of this reward pool daily based on how much I'm staking. So being in this early right now, if you are bullish on this, it's an excellent thing to get on early, because right now the inflation is a lot higher than it's going to be in the future when this reward pool is a lot smaller. The inflation on this is actually decaying. So keep your eyes on this. It's just something good to be in, to throw some in and just see what the fuck happens, because it's like yearn, it's a yield farming play, but it's gas friendly and gas optimized to an extreme using NFTs. Rather than staking, unstaking, do all this crazy shit that requires calculations, that's gas intensive. All this does on the back end, and they're going to have their own system, market internally, you have an NFT that's given to you when you enter staking, whether that be LP or normal staking. And that NFT, an NFT is a unique token that has data assigned to it, okay? It has properties. So rather than actually having to unstake and do all this crazy shit, what we can actually do is just rewrite my NFT and change the properties of the NFT, which is very cheap. Now, this is really good because one of the issues with a lot of these other plays is they're not pleb friendly. If I've got a $1,000 portfolio, I don't want to be spending $20 on gas, but this could be something that's worth it to me. I can come in and be a part of yield farming and maybe pay $1 or $2 in gas rather than $20 of gas because of the unique way that they're using NFTs. Anything that's pleb friendly like that, and that's going to allow the masses to come in here and transact and do a lot of volume and things like that, I'm about. Because there's a lot more people with smaller wallets that are going to want to participate in yield farming plays and things like that, that could want to come in and do this. Ooh, so that's pretty much everything that I'm in right now, and I think it's time we're going to go ahead and look at a few other things and discuss a couple of other things. It looks like we are 1 hour away from the close. Going to be a super strong close on Ethereum. A daily close on MTA is still looking quite nice. We're going to close that daily on BTCD below the trend line if we stay where we are. Weekly very bullish on Ethereum. Monthly very bullish on Ethereum. Still some room to go for this this Willy indicator to top out in the monthly. I do think that there's extra upside on Ethereum. Our monthly level is going to be right here at 671. So maybe we go straight there and we wick down to right here, and 565 is the new support level. It's really difficult to say. So, you know, who knows? Okay. So now we're just going to chart some random tokens. We'll start with OM because I see that in the chat. This is Mantra DAO. Now this is looking quite good here. You know, obviously very, very aggressive and brutal downtrend. We have made a higher low, which is really important. We got this maybe potentially double bottom structure. OBV. We have a some hidden bull right here, hidden bullish divergence. So this might be a good play. I'm not a huge fan of Mantra DAO, but you know, if you're really bullish in Polkadot plays, this could be one that you'd be interested in entering. Let's check out those trend lines and see what we're fucking with here. So you can see, you know, we're right on the edge, and it might even be breaking out right here. So, you know, watch for this daily to close above this trend line, and Mantra DAO could be quite a good play. I know there's some big money and big backers behind it. So we have another request for Oro. That's ORO. Really, really difficult to chart anything like this, just because there's not a lot of history. You know, just without knowing anything about it, really. You know, we are seeing 3 pushes to the upside into resistance here. Typically, that is a good time to take some off. You can see it's been rejected here. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world and Oro is going to 0. It just might mean it's time for this to cool off a little bit and it's time to come back. I don't even know what the fuck this is, so I'm going to go ahead and look it up on CoinGecko just to get a fundamental idea. You know, maybe this is the next Bitcoin and maybe we should just be FOMOing in. Who knows? So Oro, very, very small circulating supply, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure, you know, why that is. This is open DeFi.finance at a $1.6 million circulating market cap right here. Bridging the gap between physical assets and DeFi. So this is invest in real world assets via on-chain synthetics, instant loans, or earn rental on your assets. So that's very cool. They've got a lot of partnerships here. Matic, Conquest, Frontier, DeFinance, Lotus Capital, TRG Capital, Moonrock Capital. So a ton of VCs in this shit. So you can stake your assets here and receive an instant loan against those assets. These are flash loans and are facilitated immediately. Enjoy liquidity on your investment. That's pretty cool. Earn a yield, cross-chain support, bridging the gap between DeFi and finance. The fundamentals on this do look really good. They've got a Oro Pocket app. So, you know, they've done a lot of work on this and really thought it out. The one thing that I'm interested here in is going to be their Etherscan. Maybe this will give me some information. So we do have quite a bit of supply on this that is not on the market yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Medium here. I'm sure they've got a Medium page. Please, I mean, come on. Maybe the Medium's on their website. Oh, they've got a blog. Okay. I'm having difficulty finding any information about the inflation on this, you know, vesting. Ooh, it looks like it's an Indian coin. I don't know how I feel about that. Historically, those Indian coins just do not do well. Maybe this can be the first, because it certainly looks like they've done a lot of work. $1 million funding round. And we'll go ahead and move on. I don't want to spend too much time on this. It does look interesting. You know, they're doing a lot of cool things. You know, one thing I will say though, I'm not really a big fan of here of it being an Indian project, and it is very difficult to find information about that 95% of the supply that's just out there in the wild. Let me just check my charts really quick. Maybe it's time to... See, we got arguably 3 pushes on DIA right here. And we do have bearish divergence on this last push. I really want it to come check my box out, so we're just going to be watching that into the daily close, and we'll see what can happen here. Let's look at the 4-hour. And that 4-hour, you know, we do have a pretty clear indication of that this may be on the road to reversing here. Maybe not. Maybe it just comes up and keeps climbing. You know, the Willie certainly does have more room to go. Let's check out this. Once again, you know, you can see these kind of accumulation cylinders. It looks very similar to Insure, and this is kind of what you can expect with Insure. You know, once it breaks out, a nice clean retest, and then a push to the upside. Let's see how that MTA daily is shaping up. MTA daily is still looking super strong, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. You know, we do have a ways to go. Let's look at some more shitcoins. Deus, which is something we looked at a while back. I really haven't taken a look at it since that. Not really interested in that chart. I mean, this is obviously really illiquid, so you want to be careful with any kind of play like that. It is at support here. But I just can't, you know, it's very, when I see a chart like that and it's that illiquid, it's very difficult for me to really recommend an entry or anything, because, you know, when I get in something, I want to know that I'm able to get out of it. I want to know that that we can go ahead and exit that. Let's look at EPAN. This is Paypolitan token. Once again, really difficult to infer anything about this because there's just no chart history. And I can't even really see, you know, what it is on CoinGecko. So Boost is something I haven't looked at in a while. You know, it's rumored that the SNX guys were behind this, Boosted.finance. And wow, it does look like this has really been performing recently. Really strong impulse to the upside. There is some resistance at this level. Maybe we've cleared it, and we can see some continuation here. Now, it is a little concerning. You know, we do have this really strong impulse to the upside. We're really going to be looking for these levels to hold. If I was wanting to enter Boosted.finance, I do think that this is the proper level for entry. That's around $10 for a token. Octo, a lot of people are in that. And it's pretty much exactly where it was when we did our last stream a couple days ago, you know, which is where we talked about selling it. I definitely do still recommend selling Octo up here. It's been on quite a run. We've got 1, 2, 3 pushes to the upside. This third push has got a nice extension here. Really the argument behind this, even if Octo is the most bullish fucking thing in the world, and you think it's going to go to $100, right? The argument against continuing to holding Octo here is that to get that $100, it's only a 2.5x from where you are right now, and you're accepting all of this downside. We're talking about holding something that in the past 2 weeks is up almost 5x. In the past 2 weeks, it's up almost 5x, and you're going to hold that for an extra 2.5x. When things get like that, it just gets a little hairy for me, and I'd rather rotate it to something where, you know, there's not as much to lose. if it does go down. If you were in that and you made money on that, congratulations. You know, quite a play. We talked about that on stream. Our buys recommended buy area was around $10, so we didn't exactly catch the bottom on that, but this Hxro has proven itself to be a really, really strong coin. Yeah, I think we're about to see a crazy alt party. You know, one thing you need to consider is just the general scope of the market. You know, when we see Ethereum, Bitcoin starting to outperform Bitcoin, the alt market's going to perform. Obviously, most of that dominance metric is comprised of Ethereum. So seeing Ethereum outperform Bitcoin, that's exactly what we want to see. And let's just see here. Now you can see that we are at resistance for Ethereum, Bitcoin. The point where we would want to see support is going to be somewhere in this region. Oh. That would be right at like 0.028 and some change. You can see a historical precedent. You know, there's a lot of resistance at this level. Ideally, maybe this just rockets up and blows through this level. It's not looking like the weekly is going to close like that, but quite the rally. You know, we still have 44 minutes to see this develop and see what happens there. Profit finance, if I was in this, I'd be dumping it. And if you guys ask me about anything that is recently up over 20x in a period of 3 days, I'm going to tell you the same thing. So if you don't want me to say that your coin is overextended and you should probably dump it, you need to ask yourself, is my coin 20x in the last 3 days? And if the answer to that question is yes, that's probably going to be my answer, is that it's something you need to go ahead and ditch and rotate. Now, maybe this does go up an extra 2x from here, but you got to remember that there's 20x downside for another 2x. Look at this. You're risking losing all of that to make that. That doesn't make much sense in my book. So that's definitely something that I would take off. We already looked at perp on the last stream. We'll peep the chart again just to see what we're looking like. And it looks quite good. Obviously, this has caught some liquidity here. This has got some big VC investors. But once again, you need to understand that we are kind of at a resistance level. You can see just the massive amount of kind of activity that's occurred in this range. I am expecting this to potentially blow off here in this zone. Yeah, there's some nice wicks uncovered. There's definitely some sellers above 400. XAMP, Tower Babel, BOA, YFKA, we're not going to look at any of those. You know, one thing that I'm not interested in at all, and I don't want to speak on at all, are, what am I trying to say? Are those game theory coins. You know, I don't really give a fuck about those. This go. You know, if we get really crazy and all start going nuts, then sure, you know, some of those game theory coins are going to pump. But at the end of the day, like, I want to invest in quality here. I want to invest in things that maybe have some staying power, maybe have some potential fundamental drivers for upside, other than just being, oh, this is cool. But Messiah, you get 2% of every transaction gets sent straight to your wallet. Well, I mean, that's great, but who gives a shit? Is kind of my take on that. Protocols, protocols, protocols. CVP, concentrated voting power, is an interesting one, and this certainly does look like it could be making a bottom here, or at least attempting to make a bottom. This coin's interesting. This basically is the theory that plebs have voting power in DeFi, so these guys can rent out their voting power. So a whale can come in and basically buy votes. If I was looking to enter this, I'd want to buy support here at like $2.35. We already looked at Haka. True is garbage. We're not going to look at that. We looked at Scene on the last stream. I'm not going to look at One. Let's take a look at Snow. That's something that we looked at last time. Snow just doesn't look too great. It's one of the worst looking coins that we looked at. You know, it's getting rejected at these first levels. The real issue with Snow is there's not a lot of liquidity and not a lot of TVL. It's a stable coin swap. If I was really bullish on Snow, I'd probably look to pick it up around $2. All right, so we're looking at UWL next, and that's not even on here. So take a look at Ramp, which is something that we looked at in the last stream. We've already got lines drawn from it. I mean, this is pretty obvious to me. It's broken this horizontal range. It's cleared this high, and now is in price discovery. I'm not quite sure what the fuck this is or what it does. So let's have a look at the market cap and all that good shit. 648, so it's a low market cap. There is a low percentage of that circulating supply, but the fully diluted valuation is 30 million. Let's see what exactly Ramp DeFi is. Unlocking liquid capital from staked assets. Ramp looks actually like it's very similar to Hxro's network. It almost looks like exactly what Hxro's is. So if you're bullish on Hxro's, maybe Ramp is something that you'd be bullish on as well. That is looking nice though. You know, if it's not a fake out, you know, maybe we'll see some price discovery on Ramp. Might be something to get a little bag of. Of course, you missed your ideal entry, but sometimes you don't always get the best entry there is, and it just is what it is. All right, Sinlev. Not on here. This looks really, really illiquid. Let's see what this is. $80 million FDV. Interesting, reversible ICO. It looks like they're going to give you your money back or some shit if they're wrong. This is quite interesting. It's the next project by the creator of ERC20 and ERC725. Now there is some clout behind this creator. I mean, if he made ERC20 and shit, look at this reversible ICO. So we have around $3 million committed, 5 million Ethereum. It looks like there's definitely some more available too. And it looks like the price is on a bonding curve. So June 16th marked the start of the buy phase. There's quite a bit of this that still needs to be bought. You know, if I was gonna buy this, it probably looks like it's best to just buy it on the bonding curve. It is interesting though. I mean, this was definitely something that could fuck just because of who made it and all that. Insure looking good, cover looking good. Everything looks really, really nice here. MTA still looking good. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some more shit. We're not gonna look at BLZ. Does anybody know why tons of giant whales have exactly 200 ramp in their wallets? A lot of times Project will dust wallets of whales with some of their coins to make everybody think that those people are invested in it. Let's take a look at Keeper, KP3R. For those of you that don't know, there's basically all this shit that happens in DeFi, you know, liquidations, updates, those kind of things are not automatic. They have to be called manually, even things like a rebates function. So what Keeper does, it's a network that incentivizes people to automate all of these things that need to be done, all of these smart contract calls. So Keeper is as an essential infrastructure component to the DeFi ecosystem. And I believe by carrying out these actions, by facilitating DeFi, you're rewarded in that Keeper token. Just adjust. So this is what we're looking at Keeper. We are kind of pulling back here. It failed to break this high. If I was interested in entering Keeper, I would go balls deep on it at like $165. I do think that we'll get there. This definitely could have some upside on it. Sin left ticker might be Sin. Yeah, it is. So we've got this drawn, so it obviously broke out. I think we may have talked about this in a previous stream. If I was in this is when I'd be taking some off. This is a very, very clear formation of a top. You know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes to the upside, and you've got this growing bearish divergence as it pushes and it pushes. You've got these wicks to the upside. If I was looking to get into Sinlev, I'd be looking at entering it right here if it was super bullish and, you know, we wanted to continue right at like 13, 14 cents. And if it fails that, we could come all the way back down to this breakout zone, which is about 7.5 cents. If you were in that and you rode that bull, congrats. Yeah, if it's one day old, I would prefer not to look at it, especially if it's a kind of a play on somebody else's project. Ethereum's correcting. Not really. What's happening is Bitcoin's breaking down right here. And this is a lower high in Bitcoin. So, you know, maybe we see Bitcoin come back down here and retest like 700 or 17,500 or so if it can't get its shit together before the weekly close. But it's important to note that that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin here. That's what you want to see, you know, for these altcoin setups. Hopefully it can get its shit together and get these good prints like on MTA and shit like that for the weekly. And these dailies as well. Let's see here. So back to Sinlev. We're not going to do Ardor or Link. We're not going to look at CP3R just because it's a total ripoff. And it's really difficult, guys, for me to make assessments on things that look like this. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? If anything, this looks like it's topped out. You've got a lower high, you've got this big wick to the upside, you know, where somebody was obviously being greedy, and you know what exactly they did? They drew this right here, and they were like, this is a bull flag, and maybe it's not, because you can see that this actually turned into a swing failure point. If I was super bullish on this, I'd be looking to enter on a pullback, maybe to this level right here, right at $13. What are we looking at here? The Bitcoin's dip is getting bought up. Definitely some interested parties trying to keep it above this trend line. You know, we did break back above, probably put a lot of pressure on some of these late shorters down here. And maybe we squeezed them enough and we're coming back down, or maybe we can recover this and close somewhere up here. I think that would be ideal if we can go for it. Let's check out the 30-minute. Yeah, so we'll see what happens on this next 30-minute. This candle isn't an end-all be-all. It's not a red candle. You know, it's not a significant candle. We do have some decent volume coming in on it though, so we'll see how it plays out. We're not gonna chart. We're charting like liquid shit on Uniswap. We're not. I don't really want to be charting like shit that's not on Uniswap, shit that's not liquid, shit that's a higher cap. How do I find these projects? Reddit, Twitter posts. Well, a lot of these projects I'll see mentioned on Twitter. A lot of these projects I'll see mentioned in the trading pit. A lot of these projects I find somebody's mentioned on one of these streams, and I like it and I make an investment in it. If you're not in the trading pit, the link to join it is in my Twitter bio. I highly recommend checking that out. Relayer looks interesting, not very liquid, obviously. We see some big wicks to the upside here. If I was looking to enter this, and be conservative about it, I think right here is a nice level. For this to continue and to really fuck, you'd want to see it to get above this $20 price level. That's RLR. And I'm not really seeing any information about it on CoinGecko, so I have no idea what the fuck it does. Look, if it's a fork of Keeper, then it's not going to do anything. I hate to tell you, that's not an investment, it's a trade. Heavensgate.finance. So, this is one of the biggest issues with hate, is that if people aren't trading it, there's really just nothing to build that liquidity up on it, and you can see that that happened here. So hate is probably donezo. I don't think this is really ever going to do anything at this point. If hate managed to get a lot of trading volume and a lot of transactions, then maybe this would turn around. But without volume and transactions, proof of gate doesn't lock up any liquidity and nothing happens. Just liquidity is still pretty strong. This kind of almost looks like the Bitcoin chart. So, I think this is actually quite good looking. Just note that, we are at a resistance here. It is edging. Right there. So if I was looking to enter just liquidity, I'd be a buyer down here at around $36. This looks really like it could go ahead and break above this and go for it. If I was looking at some kind of upside target, I'd want to start taking it off right here around 69 US dollars. Zealot ends farming tomorrow, so we're going to have a look at that. Zealot is a Molly and Andre project. This does not look particularly bullish. I'm not going to want to buy anything that's up this fucking much in that short of a period of time. People bought this at $20 just a week ago, and it is now trading at $1,400. So this is going to be a fuck fest. This honestly looks like it just needs to cool off for the next rally. We're making this lower high right here. Almost Adam and Eve in reverse. You've got this strong impulse, this rounded top after that. I fully expect this to nuke. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. This is not one that I'd want to be in right now. The wrong chart for what? You tell me it's the wrong chart. Okay, so there is a little trading volume on this. There's really nothing to say about this, guys. Number goes up and number goes down. If you want to get in a Ponzi that, with a rising price floor, this is it. But once again, the fundamental flaw with hate is that you have to have transactions to actually raise that price floor. Trib is almost a superior hate. If you want to get into that, same concept, except for Trib will automatically raise that price floor because the underlying liquidity generates interest, and they have a gamified incentive mechanism for people to claim that interest, creating transactional volume and raising that price floor.
Don't blame me for a fool, 'cause I'm average. Yeah, you already know. You don't save money, you're a bad bitch. You already know.
So front, something that we charted before, not quite sure what's going on with this chart. The chart is illiquid as a motherfucker, so I can't really just make any assessments on that. We can look at core again. We've looked at core several times. My opinion hasn't really changed on that. And you can see that we are at a particular point of interest in core. Watch for a break of this structure to the upside, and maybe we'll see some fireworks here. Let's delete some of this clutter. Okay. So core does have some bullish shit going on for it. You know, they are absorbing the liquidity of all the failed core forks because, you know, those things weren't core. They're garbage. One thing to note here is that core is at resistance level, both horizontal and diagonal. But if core were to break to the upside, this is one that you can enter with serious size. Which is one thing that whales really like as an opportunity to enter and exit with mega size, with very, very little slippage. If core fails to actually break out here, the target remains for me. You know, you could maybe try to get cute and scoop it here for around 3,000. Or if it really broke down, it would come down to around 2,200. Maybe that's likely, maybe it's not, but those are kind of the two, or maybe three possibilities here that I can see going on. Considering that the macro is very bullish on everything, you know, maybe this is the option that we're going to see right here. Maybe it even goes for it. Who knows? Don't know anything about the upcoming Bondly token release. Surf is some poo that we charted on a previous stream. And when we charted it and talked about it, it was up here. And this is when everybody was talking about how they were going to market buy 2,000 Ethereum worth of this shit. And look what happened after that talk. Just like we talked about, I said something smelled fishy, and it obviously was fishy. Honestly, guys, if you're in this, you're just fucked. It just is what it is. I don't really ever see this coming back after getting donkey fucked like that. It was a pump and dump, and you fell for it. Look at Save. The Rot Dev did this. He's a popular developer. A lot of people like him. So Save has managed to break to the upside. It is very low market cap. There is locked liquidity here, and they're doing some interesting shit. I don't know how much legs this actually has. And I do believe it's just kind of a game theory shitcoin project. Not quite sure. We already did perp. Owl is looking a lot better than it was the last time. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this bottoming structure. One of the only guys that's in the privacy game right now for Ethereum. You know, a lot of prominent guys have said that, you know, privacy is going to be huge in DeFi. I think maybe Suzu said something like that a couple of days ago. So we have broken this diagonal to the upside. We do have this horizontal to break, and it looks like that next level that we're going to be looking at is going to be right here, and then right here. And of course, keep that diagonal in mind as well. I'm not quite sure how this happens or when. I'm not buying resistance on anything, so if I was wanting to enter this, I probably want to enter it back here, but as you can see, we've already broken this to the upside and flipped it at support, so I'm not quite sure if you're going to get that opportunity to go ahead and do that again or not. Yeah, Seal is probably RIP. LV2 scheduled before the end of the month, so there you go. You got that bullish catalyst. Definitely probably one to hop in. You'll get some good upside here. One of the things to remember is you've got all these resistance levels and shit to the upside. And to the next level right here is a 37% gain. To the next level right here is that. So you've really only got a 2x before you hit this this galaxy resistance up here. Just something to keep in mind. Yeah, Dero is a cool project, but the issue with that is that everybody's trading shit that's liquid and readily accessible, and Dero doesn't fit that bill. You know, you got to go to Trade Ogre or whatever to get it. You know, if I'm buying something, and most people, if they're buying something, they're gonna want to go to Uniswap, and they're just gonna want to fucking buy it because all their shit's in their Ethereum wallet. So you can see, you know, Bitcoin is bouncing. Again, Ethereum, Bitcoin still looking very strong. Ethereum still looking very strong. 30 minutes left until daily and weekly close. We're going to be wanting Bitcoin to reclaim this diagonal here. So we'll see if it can do it or not. If it doesn't, then maybe a further dip down here to 17,547. Putting in this lower high on Bitcoin would really set altcoins on fire. Because people would lose confidence that Bitcoin is about to go to $24,000 right now. I'm not just going to check out a random website. Like, what's the ticker? I can't find it there. Well, no, the problem is not that it's not liquid. Like back in my day, we bought illiquid shit and sold it when it was liquid. That's just how it was. Buying when it's liquid and selling when it's more liquid is something that's kind of been enabled by Uniswap. My point is that right now, in the current market that we're in, you know, the most users are on Ethereum. That's where they have their money. If I am looking for a project to invest in right now, and the majority of people are like this, you know, I'm going to go, what's on Uniswap? What can I get that's liquid? Because I can all in one kind of area. I can buy something, I can track it, you know, and watch my portfolio grow or shrink. I can set limit orders. I can get USD for something. I can get Bitcoin for something. I can get Ethereum for something. That's why a lot of people kind of are missing the mark on Ethereum. You know, Bitcoin's great, but in the future, I strongly believe that there is going to come a time when everything is on Ethereum as this giant settlement layer. And that's fine. That doesn't detract from the value of Zcash or Bitcoin or anything like that. But the fact that you've got this central hub where everything can interact with each other Ethereum is the ultimate interoperability tool. And I think in the future, we're going to see a lot more Bitcoin activity on Ethereum, a lot more Zcash activity on Ethereum, Polkadot activity on Ethereum. And Ethereum's this kind of central hub that connects all these different cryptos. Like, you know, maybe the Polkadot ecosystem does one thing a lot better than Ethereum. So that's important that you've got that Ethereum Polkadot interoperability. And then maybe Cosmos does something a lot better. And then Algorand does something a lot better. There's going to be, you know, applications and application layers on Algorand, on Polkadot, on all these different projects. But the central hub is Ethereum. Ethereum is the master controller for all of these different things. SLP, not quite sure what's going on here. Small love potion, kind of sounds like doo-doo, and based on the chart, it's not very liquid. It does look like it's gotten a little bit more liquid. Maybe it's one of those projects that has a really stupid name, but it's a really good project. So let's check out what this is. If CoinGecko will ever fucking load. Oh, that's Axie. I'm not a really big fan of this. I'm not quite sure whether that's accumulation or distribution, to be honest. So it's really difficult to kind of make an assessment on that. I will say that, you know, all of that circulating supply is on the market, $2 million market cap. In-game Axie Infinity use. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not quite sure if this is something that's an investment or just like straight utility. I don't like gaming tokens. That's why I haven't charted any of them. It's used to breed and you can earn from playing. Maybe if somebody is like trying to corner the breeding market, you know, they'll pump that. You know, one thing about it's a $2 million market cap and it looks like inflation is low. You know, the supply that's circulating is circulating. For whatever reason, the sentiment is shit on this. So maybe people are just holding it and they're pissed off that it's not doing anything. Yeah, I would definitely not classify this as any kind of investment. Yeah, earn it in game and dump it is pretty much the mantra. Orbital community. That looks like shit, bro. Literally, there's been periods of time for days where not one trade was made on this. So nobody's gonna buy this. If you think you're on a big gym and you have this, you know, I'm sorry for you. Look, guys, protocols are the way. If you want to invest in anything, you want to invest in infrastructure, you want to invest in protocols. You know, I can buy a game theory token and it can go up 5x, 10x, whatever. But it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know what Avgachi is, bro. Well, we're gonna go for about 10 more minutes, so if you guys have any final requests, please place them in the chat. Still liking where MTA is right here. You know, we didn't manage to get above this level, $1.45. So maybe Monday is going to be a bloody Monday, and we'll see some tweezers down here. You know, good buy opportunity. This 3-day isn't particularly bullish either. The daily is what's mainly looking bullish. So if the day, here's what needs to happen. If the daily's bullish, the 3 days bearish, you know, the next 3 day would have to reverse that, you know, but once again, even though this is bearish, you know, we did make a lower close here, which I'm not particularly fond of. You know, the next 3 day could be that big reversal candle. Who knows? The lower time frames establish, you know, what those higher time frames are going to look like. Ave definitely might be undervalued. Shroom, 10-cent partnership. I assume you're talking about Shroom? No, SHR. Shroom is Shroom. Arch, same use case as Rook. Archer DAO. Interesting. I don't know if I would want to compete with Rook. Rook actually has some mechanisms in place that discourage competition, that make competition bad for it. And it's looking like Arch DAO is not on Archer boosts miner revenue with 5-minute integration. Dex arbitrage, lending liquidations. This is like exactly like Keeper DAO. That's really interesting though. Wonder what their TVL is. I'm not quite sure what the utility in the token is. And I'd love to see some more about the token economics. Okay, let's check out this distribution metrics. $0.10. 20 cents is the unlocked price. Initial circulating supply is 3 million Arch tokens. Or 3,300,000. Alright, so times a price of 57 cents. Looks like it's like a $2 million market cap right here. You know, we did have people that got in at 20 cents, so just keep that in mind. Let's see, 11 million were sold. It's 11%. The total supply is 100 million on this. So it looks like the fully diluted valuation here is around 57 million. I'm actually really interested in this, which is why I'm spending more time on it. I'm curious, do we know what the address for the Arch Treasury is? I was never in True. I was talking about it in the trading pit last night and I said I don't like it. I like bonded finance, but it's very illiquid. So I mean, just looking at the chart, there's really not much to be said right here. I can't really say what's a good entry and what's not. I really want to see the treasury because, you know, Rook is fucking right now and the treasury is making a lot of money. If we could see that Arch treasury and we could see that run rate and see if it's similar to Rook, then we can start comparing PE ratios and apples to apples there and maybe see which one is the leader and which one's the better value. Liquidity is being added Wednesday morning on bonded finance. Keep an eye out. Let's take a look at API 3. I can't find this Arch DAO. Let's see what the ticker is. Maybe it's just Arch. Here's the liquidity. Archer DAO governance token. 500 holders. So it looks like the biggest holder of this is 120,000. At these prices, that's around $60,000. Does anybody have the address to the Arch Treasury? We need that Arch Treasury address. Arch Treasury. Anybody? Contract, 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 contract. That's my dog. I don't know what the fuck she's barking at. She's got her bark collar on right now, though. It doesn't. We turned the shock off, so it just beeps and vibrates, but she doesn't like that. I really need to know what this Arch Treasury is, because that's gonna say so much. All right, we're gonna see if this is the Arch Treasury. That's not the Treasury. That's the Uniswap. That's the liquidity. Yeah, if we can get that address to the Treasury. Really what I want to see here is what the profit to earnings are relative to Rook. Because that could be a really interesting play. You know, we could look at the value, the profit to earnings ratio of Arch versus Rook, and then look at the market caps and everything, and we could see maybe if one is under or overvalued. So if you guys can give me that, that'd be fantastic. We're going to end the stream on this, actually, just because, you know, we're running out of time here. Of course this fucking shit's gonna close the day like this. This is stupid. Here's the thing. I mean, this is a really long-legged doji, but if we can close the day bullish, you know, if we can close it with a higher close than before, then I'm gonna assume this is still bullish, and I'm not gonna do anything to sell it. Yeah, but we will take a look at Whale Bear Man's coin, I guess, while we're getting this Treasury address. We've got a status somebody posted from Archer DAO. Let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, that doesn't help. We needed the address to the Treasury. I'm not seeing anything about AC3 or API 3. Maybe it's not out or something. I mean, somebody's gonna find it. Tell them to give us the fucking address. Wait, seriously? Where's the profit from the protocol though? Where does the profit go? Has this not made any money? Guys, here's the thing, when Rook went live, Rook started making money. Boom, that day. This is not making, if this is the Treasury, this is not making any money. Oh yeah, this is big. So the actual token utility here is that this token is going to be an insurance policy against the data that they're providing. So if they provide you, you know, poo data and you lose money, I think you can file a claim. Yeah, I think this might be big too. Yeah, it looks very similar to the graph, which is why I was excited about it. Where are the VCs? Well, Bear Man. What VCs are in this? I can't find it anywhere. What VC's in it? Oh man, I fucking hate Mesa. All right. Oh, Pantera. Yeah. I mean, this is probably gonna boogie, but I don't buy pre-sales. We're not looking at Chungus. Nice. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Indecision, but still bullish. And immediately impulse to the upside on that new daily candle. MTA, bearish candle close. Ethereum, good close versus BTC. Dominance close below the trend line. And a sell signal on dominance from our Willy indicator. Good shit. Very good shit across the board. This fucking coin. Come on. Or maybe it's 1, 2. Maybe we're gonna do our 3 right here. I don't know. Just can we hit my fucking cells? Like, Jesus Christ. Hit my cells. I want some USDC. Give USDC. Please give USDC. All right, well, Bear Man, we'll catch you later, brother. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we will look at Lick really quick. You gotta tell me which one it is. There's a lot of them because I'm not trying to just be here forever. And you tell those guys we want to know where the profit is going for their Arrow DAO or whatever, or else it's just speculative garbage and it should dump. I mean, when Rook came out, Rook had profit. Which lick is it? You gotta tell me right now, which lick is it? If we want to look at this, you gotta tell me. Or hello? Anybody there? Which one? I mean, lick F. The fuck? There's 10 of them here. No, I'm not accumulating smart credit. To be honest, it felt really good dumping my Rook on Sue after what he did to me on MTA. Although I don't think he's the one that tanked MTA. I think that was Alameda. That? Can't be that. Maybe it's that? I mean, what do you expect me to say? The only thing that I've got to tell you about this is that I would dump it. It's up 200,000%. What is this? What is this, Wellberry Man? I mean, fuck. It's yeah. It started with barely any Ethereum and stealth launch, but it's up 200,000%. Oh, Serum? Yeah. It's up 200,000%. I mean, fuck. That's crazy. If I'm up that much on anything, I'm selling it. It doesn't matter if it's the next Bitcoin or what. You know, it doesn't fucking matter. We're not looking at Serum. I'm done. I'm done. Come here. You want to say hello? Come on. Come here. Oh, fucking dog just stepped on my nutsack. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. All right. Fuck out of here. Ow! Stop. Ah! No. 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 All right, boys. Yeah. This fucking dog, I swear. Rare pup. Everybody be safe out there. Look, compounding's the name of the game. Get those cells set ahead of time. 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, boom, get done. Never date an X. Compounding. Furious, relentless compounding. Doesn't matter what you're in. Get that 5x, get out. Move to the next one. Keep doing it. Split those bags up. You get a 5x, don't roll that 5x to one coin. Take that 5x and take, you know, half of the profit, put it in something, take the other half, put it in something. Split it up 3 ways. Don't put it in one coin. Play your cards right over the next month. And maybe you can come to the Citadel. Oh, you got the Archer Treasury? Okay, okay. Nice. Exactly what we needed. All right, just a second, boys. I don't know why Zerion's being slow. It'd be nice to see, you know, over what time frame that they managed to get $50,000. So right now, or okay, hold on. I can actually add the next data point for the Rook Treasury too. 1297677. Okay. So rolling PE on Rook is about 1.85. The PE ratio for the previous day was 2.5. So let's see. I wonder for Archer. Let's assume you said they just went live. Let's assume that this treasury, they made 50,000 in their first day. Now that's a big assumption. Ah, here we go. Oh, never mind. These guys aren't making any money. So I would actually say that Archer DAO is severely overvalued based on this information. I mean, relative to Rook. See, I mean, this is respectable, right? But it's not Rook. The treasury has grown from really 0 to $58,000. What's all this fucking shit? That's really interesting. You know, maybe they're building up LP in all these pools or something. Yeah, but this is severely overvalued relative to Rook. Nope. Severely overvalued relative to Rook. Look at the treasury for Archer over the last month, okay? From 22,000 to 58,000. Now look at the treasury for Rook over the last month, from 0 to 1.3 million, and that's just half a month. That's half a month. I know it's just distributed today. We're gonna keep your eye on it though, and we'll see if they can catch up. Right at its current price though, it's severely overvalued on just a profit to earnings basis relative to Rook. Let's see here. It definitely could be an interesting, play, one to watch. I would take that treasury address, add it to your Xerion, begin tracking it, because you're going to want to compare the run rates and shit. And if Archer, because they're the same niche, right? But if Archer has a better earnings per share or profit to earnings or price to earnings ratio, then that'll be the one to go with. But I don't think they're going to do shit on Rook. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Rook, if you don't cooperate with him, you don't make any money. All right, boys. It's been a good stream. Be safe out there. Remember to take profits. Yeah, Rook has better. I like Rook way better than this. This is interesting, though, and it is interesting that they're focusing on miners. It's a little bit different angle than Rook. So, we'll see what happens if they can get some big miners on board and shit. Anyway, thanks for coming, boys, and we will see you guys tomorrow. I'm actually interviewing Torbear. He is the founder of the Secret Foundation. Now, Secret is doing some cool shit. They're actually bringing privacy to Ethereum via a bridge and a level 2 DEX as well for anything. It's going to be a bi-directional bridge. You're going to be able to seamlessly move assets between Ethereum and the Secret network and back. So there is going to be a competitor for OWL. And that competitor is going to be kind of a level 2 solution. not real level 2, but you know, it's a level 1 scaling solution that's not Ethereum, you know, blah blah blah, semantics. Anyway, be there tomorrow. We're gonna get the scoop on Secret, which used to be Enigma, has been a favorite of mine for a long time. Don't have any now. I've discussed with Tor that we need to make it liquid on Uniswap on Ethereum if they want to fuck, and they have considered doing so. Let me just double check. We're gonna do 3 p.m. Central on Monday. So for any of you that aren't Central, that's 3 hours before what time it is for you right now. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming. Until next time, adios.